Hey there YouTube, it's TheRubberMant here, and I just decided that over the next couple of weeks I'm going to take a look at a few cards in the new booster pack that will be coming out in a couple of months, Return the Duelist. Now, I know it's a while away, we've got lots of other releases before then. We've got Samurai Warlords, Structure Deck, we've got Haunted Mine, which I'm really excited for because I want some Ghost Gold rares. I think they'll look really awesome. We've got Battle Pack Epic Dawn coming out, but the thing with those sets is they're all cards we've seen before, with the exception of some things in Samurai Warlords. So I just want to look ahead at some of the new cards we're going to be getting, or hopefully going to be getting, because I don't know how many of them are not going to be released in the CCG as of yet. But anyway, so onto the set Return the Duelist. Is the booster pack for the set with Heroic Champion Excalibur on the front. In this discussion of in these discussions, because I'm going to do a few, I'm not going to look at cards that belong to a particular archetype. I'm just going to look at cards that could be generally useful in a lot of decks, because other people have done archetype discussions. I personally like to look at cards that are more useful in a broader sense. But anyway, on to the first card. The first card I want to look at is probably my favourite card that I've seen so far in the entire set, Silvery Snow Sniper. First of all, the artwork looks awesome. The name is really cool, although I think it's being translated over in the for us in the TCG as Snow Sniper rather than Silvery Snow Sniper, which I think is a bit of a shame. But oh well. And its effect is just brilliant. It's like it's just a better version of Toy Magician, basically. You can set this card in your spell and trap card zone as a spell card. If this face down card in your spell and trap card zone is destroyed by an opponent's card effect and sent to the graveyard, special summon this card from your graveyard during the end phase and destroy one card your opponent controls. So not only can you set this card as a bluff, if your opponent goes in for a Night Beam, or they chain in an MST to something, or they Heavy Storm, this guy goes to the graveyard, comes back, and it could, in the end phase of either player's turn. So if they destroy it in their turn, you get you get the monster back in their end phase and get to use it in your next turn. Not only that, but when it comes back, it destroys one of your opponent's cards. And because it's just the one card, they can't activate Starlight Road or anything like that in response to it. So it's just all round a really brilliant card. And I do hope they release it in common, because it's a common in the OCG at the moment, and I'd really like to get my hands on a playset of them, and I hope they just don't become really hard to obtain. But yeah, Silvery Snow Sniper, brilliant across the board. Next up is Illusion Snatch, and Illusion Snatch is just a generally all-round useful card to have in a lot of decks. When you tribute summon a monster, you can special summon this card from your hand, and this card's tribute, type, and level become the same as the tributed monsters. Now that just means you get a really easy Ixie summon, and you've also special summoned a monster with 2,400 attack, which is brilliant anyway. But the other great part of its effect is that because it becomes the same attribute, type, and level, it means you have access to those high-level Elixirs monsters that require a specific type or a specific attribute for both its material monsters. So Illusion Snatch fills that gap quite nicely, and I can see it being used in decks that use a lot of tributing. So Monarchs, for example, or a deck that uses Monarchs like Dark World, which uses Caius the Shadow Monarch. We can get Caius' effect and then overlay for a rank 6. So Illusion Snatch is a pretty good all-round card. Ixie's Soul was another little card that caught my eye. You can target one Ixie's monster in either player's graveyard until the end phase. Face-up monsters you control gain attack equal to that target's rank times 200. And then you can return that target to the extra deck. So you have the choice of returning, which is good, because that means you can target an Ixie's monster in your opponent's graveyard, get the positive effect, and then choose not to return that target to the extra deck. So you can take advantage of a powerful Ixie's monster that you've killed. which is a nice little bonus. I also see this getting a bit of play in hieratic decks, because hieratics generally go for quite high level or high rank Ixies. Like I'm thinking of Atom mainly. And you have an Atom. You've used it. It's been killed. You use Ixie Soul. You gain a load of attack from it, a 1,200 attack on your cards till the end phase, and then you get Atom back in your extra deck, so you can loop around with that. So Ixie Soul is a nice little card for that sort of thing. So now we're on to 3 card. 3 card is just a normal trap card. If you control 3 or more face-up monsters with the same name except tokens, target 3 cards your opponent controls and destroy those targets. Now, this is a card that seems situational as hell, but can be used in more decks than you may think at first. First one comes to mind, a deck that uses Inferno Reckless Summon, because you're more often than not, you're going to get 3 monsters with the same name. You can go into 3 card and destroy your opponent's back row, or just destroy 3 general cards. One of the good things about this card is that it's not specific to spell traps or monsters. You can destroy any 3 cards your opponent controls. Another deck that could be used in is Agent of Creation Venus. Get out 3 mystical shine balls and go for that. Destroy those with 3 card. Machine Duplication as well. Same deal with Inferno Reckless Summon. And another less likely option, because I don't know if anyone really out there plays them that much. I do sometimes because I enjoy them. Harpy decks, because Harpy Ladies all count as Harpy Lady, so getting them on the field is quite. Getting 3 Harpy Ladies on the field is quite simple in terms of 3 card. And that's that card. Our final card of the day is Super Dimensional Robo Galaxy Destroyer, a card I chose purely because of its awesome name, and it really stood out to me. This card is frankly ridiculous. It's a rank 10 Ixies that requires 3 level 10 monsters. It has 5,000 attack and 2,000 defense, and once per turn you can detach a material from this card to destroy all spell and trap cards your opponent controls. So it's essentially 3 Heavy Storms that's also a 5,000 point monster, which is crazy. Except when you consider how hard it is to get 3 level 10 monsters out on the field. One option for this would be a hieratic deck, and I think that's the most viable option at the moment, because it's an easy way, or an easier way, to get 3 level 10s out, because you go with Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, you get all 3 out, you get the recycling effect, and then you go into Super Robo Galaxy Destroyer. So that's, and I'm sure there are other ways of getting rank 10s out. Like, there's a card in this set which I'll go into next week called Galaxy Queen's Light, which makes all monsters the same level, so you just need 1 level 10 out. But yeah, Super Dimensional Robo Galaxy Destroyer, it's really cool. I love that it exists, and I love that it's there, but I don't see it being used too much, except in more inventive decks, which would be great. I'd love to see an inventive deck based around an OTK of this. Right, and that's it for this week. Come back next week on Sunday, and I will have done another. I'll look at another 5 cards from this set. Until then, well, until tomorrow, Rubberman out.